It won't be long now, darling. Today is the most important day of the trial so far. Today, John starts his defense.
I wish I knew where he was.
Probably preparing his questions. And as his first witness, I am prepared to answer every one of them.
Oh, Mother.
No, not just his questions, darling. All these rumors and innuendos that have swirled around ever since you arrived in Grandeview. I'm going to dispel all of them. My hope is that by the time I've left the witness stand, I'll have created so much sympathy for you that you won't actually have to go on the stand yourself and face the prosecution's attack.
None of that is important right now.
Not important? I'd like you to tell me what's more important right now. You're not still thinking about that man, are you?
Deborah should have been able to get that message to Max by now. Well, if he loves me, why won't he come to see me?
Gabrielle Medina, open your eyes and see. The reason he hasn't come to see you is because he loves only one person, himself. And the sooner you understand that, the better.
What are you... Wait, what are you, nuts? What are you trying to do to me? Those are Italian shoes. They were Italian shoes. Is this the thanks I get for helping you?
Help! You were supposed to do more than help me. You were supposed to make my big love scene the biggest thing in daytime history.
Did I say that?
Mm-hmm. Verbatim. And if you will also remember, you sealed off this studio, locked all the doors, gave the whole crew a little bit of a break so that we could work out my kinks.
Your kinks?
Kinks in my craft. Two of you, me and you, are in this tub together. So why don't we decide whether or not you're a brilliant acting coach, shall we?
And that was strictly off the record. I can't say anything official until we have the press conference.
When you say we, does that include Victoria Buchanan?
Well, as you know, Ms. Buchanan is an extremely busy person these days. What with her family and publishing the banner, her time is very precious.
In other words, she's a no-show.
No, I didn't say that. Just wait for the conference. I'll be happy to answer all your questions.
Oh, am I too late?
Victoria.
Oh, don't look so surprised. After all, we co-chair the Centennial Committee. I have to hold up my end of things, don't I?
Oh, yes, of course. I just thought, yeah. Victoria, I was afraid I would never see you again.
Here's what you do when you don't find the rainbows in this time. Here's where you go when it looks like the rain won't end. Don't cry. I'll give you tomorrow. Let me be the one to share it with. And each day that follows, 'cause we only have one life to live.
Listen, everybody, we'll see you inside, all right?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Okay. You know, when Cord told me that Clint had gone to Arizona, I just naturally thought you would fly out to join him.
Yes, well, that's what I wanted to do, but...
But what? I mean, the last time we spoke up at the cabin, you were going home to make up with Clint.
Yes, and that's what well, I went home to do that, thanks to you, but then I got home and Bo was there. He gave me a letter that Clint had left for me. It was very sweet, very loving, very Clint. So, of course, the first thing I wanted to do was run out to be with him.
Well, what stopped you?
There was something Bo said about Clint wanting to be by himself, needing time to, I don't know, sort through our problems and trying to figure out a way to solve them.
You spoke with him then?
No. Roger, I'm afraid to talk to him. I'm afraid I'm going to say something on the telephone. I'm going to start a fight long distance, and it's going to make everything worse than it is now.
Well, there's always that possibility, but if you keep avoiding each other, that says something too, doesn't it?
You know, I think they want to start that press conference. We probably shouldn't upset their schedules.
No. The press conference can wait. You said that you were afraid you would say something that might start another fight or even damage your marriage. What could that possibly be? Up at the cabin, you told me that you were committed to Clint. More devoted than any man could hope for. Victoria, has something happened to change that?
Roger, darling, everything's ready. All we need to... Victoria.
Now, Victoria, you remember Dara Simone?
Yes, of course. Oh, how nice that you can join us.
Us? But, Roger, I thought you said...
No, I said I wasn't sure that Victoria would be here or not. But fortunately for us, she's here.
Yes, what a rare stroke of luck. But, Victoria, when Roger told me that your plans were up in the air, I took it upon myself to prepare for the press conference.
Why doesn't that surprise me?
Well, I was just thinking of you, dear. It wouldn't be fair to rush you in front of all these cameras and microphones. You just sit back, enjoy. Roger's in capable hands.
What, you want to learn these lines or what?
I don't need to learn lines. I need motivation.
Yeah, well, I need a script.
In my bag.
Okay. Set up the situation. Roxanne and Nick have gone to the Poconos for a romantic weekend. No, Roxanne and Terry have gone to the Poconos for a romantic weekend. Round bed, mirrored ceilings, heart-shaped...
Yeah. I know the setting. Let's just get on with it, okay, shall we?
Roxanne, there's something I've been wanting to ask you.
Well, this is a very strange time and place to do it.
Yes, I know, but...
But you know, Nick, that's always what I've loved about you. The fact that you're full of surprises.
Hey, watch it, watch.
I believe your next line is speaking of surprises.
Speaking of surprises, you know the big dance next weekend?
Oh, you mean the big Halloween bash at the Coppa House, the one with all those great costumes and things that go bump in the night?
Yeah, right. How does the party be? Well, I know I said I got the big game with States to get ready for it, so I can't take you, but heck, what's a football game compared to spending a night with you?
Oh, Nick, do you mean it? I'm more important to you than football?
Yeah, look, I never said this to anyone, Roxanne. But if I had to choose between scoring a touchdown and kissing you, it's no contest.
Well, you see, that's the nice thing. Here in this hot tub, you don't have to choose. You can kiss me and score a touchdown.
Something tells me you got a handle on the part.
No. It's only because it's you, Max. I really need some more work. If I could work with you instead of with that plastic punk Nick, man.
Hey, don't knock Nick.
Don't knock Nick.
Don't knock Nick. Look, the women love him all across TV land. He takes off his shirt. There's a collective sigh from New Jersey to California.
Well, fine. Let all those women get excited about him. I know true talent when I see it.
Why don't we get back to the scene, shall we? Where are we? Okay, now that we're agreed about the party, how do I break this to the coach?
Well, I think the coach will understand. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose.
Hell with the game. Hell with the coach. Come here, you.
Now, wait a minute. Are you kissing Megan or Roxanne?
Who cares? There's two bodies in this hot tub, and nothing else exists.
Okay, that's good. Forget about the words. Let's just do a little action.
Let's go snorkeling.
If you're going to continue to attack Max, we can just drop it.
I'm sorry, darling. I know that Max has been very important to you lately, not just financially, but otherwise.
I'm not talking about the fact that he paid my bail or paid for my lawyer. I'm talking about what he said on the witness stand yesterday.
I know, darling. I know, and it gave you hope. It's probably the key to your survival, to your acquittal. I just wish that you wouldn't pin so much hope on one man, especially when that man is Max.
But you heard him. You heard what he said. He said it right there in the courtroom in front of all those people. He said that he loved me.
I know.
And surely a man, if he says it out loud in front of all those people, then he must mean it.
You must understand, darling. He'd say anything to save the mother of his child. I mean, it doesn't mean, just because he says he loves you, that it's real love.
Yes, it does. He wouldn't have gone that far for me.
No, for Al, for his own guilty conscience, for, I don't know, a million other reasons. I'm not a psychiatrist, darling. But love, I've seen no signs of real love from Max Holden. And if you're waiting patiently for him to come to this courthouse today, then I think you're waiting in vain.
No, and I'm sorry, I think you're wrong. You are wrong. Max was talking from his heart yesterday. He just hasn't got the message, that's all. Deborah hasn't given him the message. That's the right explanation for things.
Well, whatever the explanation is, darling, right now you have to forget about him and just focus on the trial.
Make that sound so easy, don't you?
Well, it is easy. Now, when the prosecution decides to talk to me today, things may be a little tricky. I want you to be prepared.
Prepared for what?
Well, we may just need all our strength and resourcefulness today. But we're not going to be the only ones doing the bleeding. I have a few punches to throw myself, which might set the town of Landview on its ear.
So, ladies, ready or not, it's time to go into the courtroom.
Oh, Dara, I truly appreciate the gesture, but I wouldn't presume to place that kind of a burden on you.
Oh, it's no burden. Believe me, Victoria. There's nothing I wouldn't do for the cause.
Oh, I can see that.
Oh, Victoria, dear. What with the newspaper, your family, your husband? Surely you have enough to worry about.
That is so kind of you. But I do have responsibilities to the Centennial Committee and to Roger as well. After all, we are the co-chairs, and we share all the problems and the decisions. That is, unless you have any objections, Dara, dear.
No, of course not. Well, I'll just check with our media consultant and make sure that we're ready to go. Excuse me.
Do you still have circulation in your arm after the way she was squeezing it?
Dara means well. She just has a proprietary streak when it comes to the committee.
Yeah.
My main concern is you.
Oh, no, I'll be fine.
Listen, I know the stress you've been under. Are you sure you want to continue working with me?
Yes, of course.
I mean, think about it. Do you feel comfortable up there sharing the platform with me?
Yes, look, I don't blame you for wondering. I was a little overly sensitive with Miss Dara Simone just then, but I truly believe that's more a matter of personal chemistry than anything else. When it comes to business, I'll be just fine.
And sometimes it's hard to separate the personal from the business. I know with your mind on Clint and your marriage.
I promise I won't let it interfere with my work. In fact, work is the very best thing for me. It'll take my mind off my troubles. Trust me, what I really need is to get myself involved in something much greater than my own problems. It's the best possible thing for me.
Well, hear you talk like that, I can't argue with you. Okay, partner. Let's work together.
Places, everyone. That means you, Victoria. Roger, it's time to meet the press.
Inconvenient, Brenda. I always have time for you and Stephen. You know that.
Yeah, well, I know you're busy, but we went for a walk today, didn't we?
Hey.
And I realized that he had this little outfit on that you bought him, and I wanted you to see him in
right.
it. Isn't he cute?
Yes.
What do you think, though? Thumbs up or thumbs down?
Let's see. I say a definite thumbs up, huh?
All right.
I mean, I liked it in the shop, but now that it's on you, Stephen, it's an absolute winner.
Look at him. I think he's going to be a little heartbreaker. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so, too. Brenda, you didn't just happen by here, did you?
No. Well, I was just kind of concerned about you, Michael. Yesterday you seemed a little unhappy and kind of low, and I wanted to see how you were doing today.
And I was kind of low yesterday. But as of a few minutes ago, I feel a lot better, all thanks to you.
It's amazing what this little boy can do for you, isn't it?
It is amazing. So, Brenda, I have a little confession to make to you. It's about the trust fund that I set up for Stephen.
Oh, right. And like I said, that was very generous of you,
Well, no,
Michael.
it's something I needed to do. You remember I wanted to put the fund in your name so that you could manage things until Stephen came of age?
Yes,
Well,
and
I
Michael...
decided not to wait for your okay. The account is officially in your name.
Michael...
It's a fait accompli, Brenda. The money is there for Stephen, no strings attached. And if Larry is concerned that I'm going to interfere, there's no chance because my name is not on the account. So you have the money for Stephen's future, and there's no need for you to ever reveal the source. So, Brenda, say something.
That is so lovely, and that is so loving, Michael.
Good. Good, I'm glad to hear that.
But it's not right, and I am going to have to ask you to take that money back.
Chin up, darling.
Look at them. They're all waiting for another show like they got yesterday with Max.
Well, I think some of them are, but most of them are probably on
Well,
your
I'm not
side.
interested in most of them. I'm only interested in one.
Would you please tell my daughter to stop thinking about Max Holden?
I don't understand it. He's been here for every second of the trial except now when I really need him the most.
Gabrielle, he's probably just tied up at Fraternity Row.
Well, you've spoken to him? You've seen him?
Yeah, about an hour ago.
Well, did he get my message?
He didn't mention it.
But I'm certain. Well, that means Deborah didn't get the message to him. That's what that means. Mommy, Gabrielle, I just wanted to wish you both good luck for today.
Thank
I
you,
asked
sweetheart.
you for one simple favor, to get a message to Max. Why didn't you? But I did. I gave him the letter this morning. You gave it to him in person?
All rise.
Ladies, we better take our seats.
Catch my breath before going to the witness.
Be seated.
Court is in session. Mr. Russell, is the defense ready to call its first witness?
Yes, Your Honor. The defense calls Julia Wheaton Medina.
Julia Wheaton Medina.
Brenda, you have to be concerned about Stephen's future. Now, the money in that trust fund could be used for his entire education, or he could take it when he wanted to and set himself up in business.
Yes, but Michael, that's in the future, and what I'm trying to do is concentrate on the here and the now.
Oh, it's Larry, isn't it? He is the one resisting all this, not you.
Michael, Larry is a very proud man. If I take that money, he might get the wrong impression and think that I don't have faith that he can take care of our child.
He's a prominent physician. If he's got insecurities about his abilities, that's another
that
problem.
is not what he has insecurities about. He's just a normal man with normal feelings about this, and I just am not going to do anything to hurt him.
So why tell him anything at all?
You want me to lie to my fiancé?
No, you'd be holding a precious secret for Stephen, and when he came of age, he would decide what to do with that secret, that's all.
Oh, Michael, I just don't think that's right.
Brenda, you're agonizing over nothing. You're agonizing over nothing. Now listen to me. I have set up the trust fund, and all you have to do is know that it's there.
Michael, are you going to keep this a secret?
Absolutely. It'll be strictly between you and me. Are you satisfied?
I guess I'm not being very grateful, am I? I should be thanking you.
No, don't worry about that. Why don't you come back to the courthouse with me? I know you're as concerned about the outcome as I am.
Well, I am, but I need to stay with Stephen.
Well, Melissa still takes care of him, right?
Yeah?
I mean, things are not so complicated. We just make them that way. Come on, you call. I'll take the baby.
Okay.
You call.
I don't know the number.
555.
Okay.
7892.
How's that?
Great.
So what do you think? You ready to do the scene in front of the cameras now?
What's your rush?
I'm not in any rush, but you do have a show to tape. You don't want to hold up production, do you?
Max, if I didn't know better, I'd say that you're trying to make a fast exit.
Oh, don't be ridiculous. We just got other things to do today, things we haven't done yet.
Oh, yeah? Well, I thought your job was to help me get ready for this scene.
You get any more ready, they're going to break down the doors. They're going to arrest us. Come on, you're going to be absolutely terrific. Forget about the porno movie. Everyone makes mistakes. I did once.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm still afraid that I'm going to freeze up in front of the cameras and ruin taping.
You are not going to ruin anything.
Well, will you stay while we shoot?
Oh, Megan.
Please?
Of course I will. Tell you what I'll do. I'll make sure we just have a skeleton crew on the floor, and I bet that you are going to be marvelous. I guarantee it.
Thank you.
Don't have to thank me. I'm a producer. It's my job.
Oh, I know better than that. You were going to go rush off to court, and you've decided to stay here with me instead.
Well, you needed me, so I'm here.
Yeah. I do need you. There was a time when I wouldn't have been able to admit that, but now my need for you is so strong, Max, sometimes it scares me. But don't panic. My love for you is just as strong.
Yeah, we got something else just as strong. These tangles in your hair.
Ow! Let makeup deal with that.
No, I want to take care of this, yes. You got a brush in your bag?
Yeah.
Well, sit still. You are about to get the royal treatment from Mr. Max. Where's your brush? She's there.
What's this?
What?
Well, it's an envelope addressed to me. What is this? What's it doing in your bag?
Mrs. Medina, would you describe in your own words your relationship with your daughter, Gabrielle?
Well, that's really not a very easy question to answer. For the past several years, my daughter and I have been virtual strangers. When her father and I were divorced, she chose to go and live with him in Buenos Aires.
So you had very little contact. That must have been very painful to both of you.
Well, I tried my best to understand the situation. She was always her father's daughter. I remember when she was tiny, he gave her her first pony. He put her up on the saddle and told her to go slowly. She tore off into the distance. I was terrified. He just laughed. So did she.
I guess his death was quite a blow to Gabrielle.
She was devastated. She's only really loved two men in her life, her father and Max Holden. Of course, Max used her and then rejected her. He also abandoned her in her time of need.
You don't sound like a big fan of Max Holden.
No, I know his type all too well.
Your Honor, are we really interested in the witness's opinion of Max Holden?
I am. You'll have your turn, Mr. Callison. Go on, Miss Medina.
Yes. You see, I can understand why she was attracted to Max. He was just like her father. On the outside, smooth, charming. But inside, a liar and a user. Max promised her love, as her father did, and then he took it away as quickly as he'd given it. I cursed the day that she met him. But I curse myself more for not being there to help her.
Well, there, you're not just talking about Argentina, are you?
No. I'm talking about the way Max Holden played with my daughter's feelings until he drove her to that terrible night in the hospital.
Mrs. Medina, are you saying that in your opinion, Max Holden drove your daughter to distraction, and in that distracted state that she switched the babies?
It's not mere opinion. Max Holden is directly responsible for the baby switch, and I can prove it. I have irrefutable proof of what Max Holden did to drive my daughter to the brink of insanity.
Mrs. Medina, since your announcement seems to have taken everyone by surprise, including your daughter's attorney, perhaps you'll share this so-called evidence with the rest of us?
Oh, yes, I'd be happy to, Your Honor. It was several months ago, and I was still in London with my daughter, Deborah. I received a letter from Gabrielle, a very disturbing letter. In this letter, she details her despair at losing Max, a despair which he played on for his own selfish means.
Herb. It's her rope. Let's see if she climbs out or hangs herself with it.
I'm a little confused, Mrs. Medina. No, I'm very confused. You just got through telling us that you and your daughter were estranged before you came to Landview.
Yes. Well, that letter broke the ice, you see. She told me of how desperately she was trying to forget Max. She spoke of meeting Michael Grand, how much he needed her. She said that she wasn't in love with him, but she could be, perhaps, as time went by. But Max wouldn't allow that. He kept pulling her to him and promising her the moon and the stars, and then cruelly pushing her away.
Well, it sounds like a tortured love affair, Mrs. Medina. Some of us have had them, even judges, but it's hardly a case for insanity.
Yes, but Gabrielle's emotions were so frail. She admitted that, in fact, Max's treatment was driving her crazy.
She said that?
She said, in her own words, if Max rejects me one more time, I can't be responsible for what I might do to myself and to others. So there, you see, you have the proof. It's all in the letter, her despair, her fears, her decline into madness. And to make matters worse, the letter was actually postmarked 2 days before the baby switch. Max is responsible for this. It's his crime, you know, not hers.
Order. Order. This court will come to order now.
Gabrielle, why didn't you tell me about this letter?
Because there isn't a letter.
Come on.
I swear to you, my mother is lying.
Now, I'm going to say this once, and I won't say it again. Another outburst like that, and I'll clear this courtroom. Is that understood? Mrs. Medina, now that you've dropped your bombshell, do you think you could produce this letter?
Oh, yes, yes, of course, Your Honor. Yes, here it is.
Are you still going to tell me there's no letter?
John, I swear to you, this is all made up. It can't be true.
Your Honor, may I have a look at that?
Yes, by all means, Mr. Callison. And you too, Mr. Russell. Since this is your evidence, you might like to know what it is before I admit it.
Yes, Your Honor. Given the unexpected nature of this development, I would like to take my time to examine this evidence and, well, to consider its ramifications.
Are you asking for a recess, Mr.
Yes,
Russell?
Your Honor, I am.
Very well. Court will reconvene at 3 p.m.
All rise.
What the hell do you think you're doing?
Well, it worked.
Worked? You almost blew her last chance.
Listen, everybody, we really appreciate your interest, but Ms. Buchanan and I have said everything we have to say.
Come on, Roger. Have pity on us print guys, too.
Hey, Roger's right. We've said all that we can say. Press kits are available for all of you. Check with Dara Simone, wherever she is.
Roger, you were magnificent.
Well, thank you, Dara. I don't know if magnificent is right, but we certainly did fine.
Oh, don't be modest. The press conference was a raging success thanks to you. And you too, Victoria.
Oh, thank you.
How about Mr. Gordon, Mrs. Buchanan? One more shot?
Don't you have enough pictures?
We need all the publicity we can get, Victoria. And speaking of publicity, Roger, I've had another brainstorm. We need a host for the Centennial Gala. Who could be better than that popular television star, Megan Gordon? Not only does she have a loyal following, but she's the daughter of our co-chairs. Promise me you'll get her to say yes.
Well...
Oh, I knew I could count on you. You're a love, Roger. This way for press kits, ladies and gentlemen.
Great. One more.
Well, it looks like we're surrounded.
All right.
Okay. One more. How do you want us?
Moving closer. Yeah, closer. That's it. Now, shake hands or something.
Well,
great.
perfect. You two make a great team.
I forgot all about that, Max. You have to believe me. Remember when Deborah was at the door, I told you she had a message to you from Gabrielle? You were in the shower, so I just put it down with my things. It must have gotten mixed up in all my stuff when we went to the studio. I'm telling you the truth. You have to believe me.
No, it's okay. I believe you. If you wanted to hide it from me, you wouldn't have kept it in your bag and brought it here, would you?
So what does it say?
Max, I know how busy you are, but it's imperative that I see you today. There's something we have to discuss before I go into the courtroom. Look, I hate to do this to you, darling, but I'm going to mistape you. I got to get to the courthouse.
Max, no, wait.
Look, no, I'll try to get back as soon as I can, hopefully before you do the hot tub scene. But listen, if I'm not here, you're going to be terrific. Trust me.
No, now just hang on a second here. I have tried to be patient and understanding. I really tried not to push you. But I have to set something straight here, whether you want to hear it or not.
So let's have it, Julia. An explanation, an apology. Not for me, maybe for the daughter whom you say you love.
Gabrielle understands. She knows that I would do anything in my power to help her, don't you, darling?
Oh, yeah, including committing perjury.
Oh, really, I'm not a fool. I have several letters that Gabrielle has written. It was mere child's play to give them to an expert and have him write other letters copying her handwriting.
Expert? A common forger, you mean? You faked the postmark, too. That'll probably get you a federal indictment on mail fraud charges.
I have immunity.
Immunity? What kind of immunity?
A mother's love for her daughter.
What are you, nuts? You want to try and tell that to the judge?
Yes, well, I will, if necessary. All right, the letter may be a fake, as you so crudely put it, but the contents therein are completely true and valid.
Yeah, you're forgetting one very important thing. I didn't write the letter, did I?
Yes, but, darling, I simply wrote what I thought you must have been feeling around the time of the baby switch.
Oh.
Now, if I've made a mistake, if this is some petty crime, then I don't care. I really don't. In fact, I wish I'd done more.
All right, we'll have to work something out, won't we?
You know, I hate to be the cold splash of water in your ladies' faces, but it may not work out. If that forgery is detected, it could not only cripple your defense, It could send you and your brilliant mother here to prison.
Well, John, we have to do something, don't
No,
we?
the thing we have to do now, darling, is just continue with this lie, all right?
No, you are wrong again. That evidence is tainted. If I admit that in court, I could be disbarred. No, thank you.
What, are you suggesting that you tell the judge
I am
that I...
suggesting that you follow my lead whatever I do, you and Gabrielle both. You've almost blown this case. Let's hope it doesn't go that far. Come on.
You answer those reporters' questions like a seasoned veteran.
A mere novice.
Oh.
Thankfully, you were up there by my side. And to think I even suggested that I could do this on my own.
Please, Roger, don't give me too much credit. You answered all the tough questions, the financial ones. Where is most of our funding coming from? I don't know. Are we going to market our Centennial logo?
That was the boring stuff. I mean, the tough part came when you started discovering, they started asking questions about the gala. I mean, floral motifs? How am I supposed to know about floral motifs?
I didn't know either. I made it all up.
Well, you sure fooled me in a room full of reporters.
Oh, good if I did. That was the whole idea.
You want the truth?
Yeah.
We both did. I have no idea where most of our funding is going to come from.
Are you serious? You were bluffing?
Well, I beg your pardon. I was making command decisions on the spot, and they happened to be the right ones. As right as your decision to work with me. We belong together. I know it. I didn't mean, Victoria, I didn't mean that the way it came out. What I meant was...
I know what you meant. You're right, you know. We do belong together in business.
In business, right. So, now that you've committed us to our floral motif, and I've gone on record saying that I'm going to run this celebration in the black, we better figure out how we're going to do it.
That's a good idea. Unfortunately, I really have to go home and remind my children what their mother looks like.
No, I understand. Look, I'll call you tomorrow. We'll get together tomorrow.
Well, we don't have to wait that long. Kim has planned a pizza party for the children tonight, so I'm free for an early dinner if you want to have a working dinner here at the hotel.
Oh, well, let me see if I can squeeze you in. Uh-huh. You're very squeezable. 5 o'clock?
Yeah, it's Dave. No, I mean,
No,
well,
I know what you meant. Partner. Bye-bye.
Megan, we don't have time for long discussion. You've got to get ready for tape and get your hair done. I got to get across town.
Max, Gabrielle can wait just this once.
I know you're nervous about the scene, but trust me,
God,
it'll be
it's not
great.
just the scene. It's you and Gabrielle.
I thought we went over that last night. I thought I showed you how much I care about you.
Yeah. And last night, I felt safe and I felt loved. And today, our little rehearsal was wonderful. It really was. But then Gabrielle just snaps her fingers, and you drop everything, including me, and you run after her.
Sweetheart, you're getting upset over nothing. Really.
Oh, Max, it's not nothing to me. You told that whole courtroom that you loved Gabrielle.
And I explained all that.
When I heard you say that, it confirmed something that I have been feeling for a very long time. I have tried to fight it. I have tried to convince myself that you couldn't possibly love Gabrielle, especially after all the things that she's done. But I have to face the truth. And it terrifies me. I'm so afraid of losing you.
Baby, there's no reason to think that you're losing me.
There's a reason. Gabrielle is a reason. What you said in court is a reason. I don't know, maybe unconsciously I did keep that letter from you because I was afraid that she was going to take you away from me. A part of me knew that this was going to happen, that she was just going to call you again and that you were going to go running.
I am just going there for just a little while. Just long enough to reassure her before she goes into the courtroom.
And who's going to reassure me? Max, I am truly afraid to do this scene. It scares me and I need you. But no, once again, you're often supporting Gabrielle, and not just this once. It's every time. I can't handle it anymore. I just can't.
Megan, I've never seen you like this.
What?
You've always been
so strong. I'm not, Max. This is a real part of me, too. And if you can't take it, if you can't accept this...
Megan, I want to stay with you. I really do.
But Gabrielle needs you, right? Well, maybe you need to make a choice. Gabrielle or me.
Mr. Russell, now that you've had time to consider your witness's surprising document, can we continue?
Yes, by all means, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Callison, I take it you have no objection to the letter being admitted as evidence?
Your Honor, I have the objection.
This is your witness. It's her letter.
I realize that, but since it hasn't been formally entered as evidence, I want it removed.
Well, from what Mrs. Medina has told us, this letter is proof of your client's state of mind during the baby switch. If it's vital to the defense, why remove it?
Well, Your Honor, it has some personal information that my client would rather not have revealed in the court at this time.
Is that so? Well, it's an unusual request. I have a feeling there's more to it than you're telling us, but it's within your rights. Mrs. Medina, from now on, can you try to keep the theatrics to a minimum?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Well, let's get on with it, Mr. Russell. Do you have any questions for this witness?
No, sir, no further questions.
No questions. I must say you have an unorthodox way of conducting a defense. What about you, Mr. Callison? Do you have any questions for the witness, or shall we all just repair to the golf course?
It's a great idea, Your Honor. I have a couple of questions.
Oh, I'm very glad to hear it. Proceed.
Thank you, sir. Mrs. Medina. You told us that you're from Great Britain. Could you be a little more specific?
Well, I was born in Sussex, on the Wheaton estate. It's been there since the time of William and Mary.
Oh, William and Mary. Well, I'm really more interested in the recent past.
Yes, of course. Well, I grew up in London, and I attended Havisham School for Girls, and then subsequently Cambridge, briefly. And then it was after that that I met Dante Medina.
Your late husband?
Yes.
Is it safe to say that throughout your life you have enjoyed the privileges and advantages we Americans associate with English aristocracy?
Yes. And the responsibility that goes with it.
Oh, yes, of course, absolutely. And that responsibility must have been especially difficult to live up to when your marriage ended. I mean, you had your daughter Deborah to support, not to mention your lifestyle. How did you manage?
With difficulty.
Yes. Yes. Then you went to work?
No, fortunately, I didn't have to. There was a trust that had been set up by the family to support us.
Oh, in the manner to which you were accustomed. Fine homes, private tutors, private clubs. Like the Belle Fleur Club in Mayfair. You were a member of that exclusive club, weren't you?
Oh, yes, I was.
What?
Well, yes, before my daughter Deborah and I relocated to America.
Oh, that's the reason. I thought it was because they kicked you out.
Your Honor, what's the point in this line of questioning?
The point is, Your Honor, I'm trying to establish the credibility of this witness.
Go on, Mr. Callison.
Where were we, Mrs. Medina? Oh, yes, the Belle Fleur Club. Now, isn't that where you stole a priceless Chinese vase, Ming Dynasty to be precise, and then tried
An
to...
outrageous lie!
Is it also a lie that the club would have prosecuted you for theft if they hadn't been trying to avoid a
Can't be
scandal?
responsible for some sort of rumors and innuendo in a club.
Well, all right,
in London.
let's forget about the Belle Fleur Club. How about Abigail Cromwell? Your old friend from the Havisham School? The same friend who was about to take you to court to try to recover the small fortune you owed her?
Complete misunderstanding. Abigail knew perfectly well I would repay her.
Well, I'm sure she knew it, and I'm sure that you would, but nevertheless, it is a good thing that the Wheatons and the Cromwell family shared the same solicitor, isn't it? Because a deal was struck by your relatives to bail you out. And it wasn't the first time, right?
I have no idea where you're getting your information.
Well, the fact is that life in England had become just a trifle hot for you.
That is not true.
Well, then what is the truth, Mrs. Medina? What's the real reason that you packed up Deborah and came to the States?
Obviously, because my daughter Gabrielle needed me.
Gabrielle, the one who was about to marry Michael Grand, the multi-millionaire.
Objection, Your Honor.
Sustained.
Yes, all right, let's say that you didn't really need Mr. Grant's money. How did you support yourself here in Landview?
I have a family who are very generous.
Really? Would you like me to summon the Wheaton family accountants to prove that your family's generosity had ended years ago?
All right, Mr. Callison. I could not always depend on them. That's why I got the job at the Banner. I don't earn very much money, but the money I do earn, I earn honestly.
Honestly?
Yes.
Well, then, how do you explain this? What's the matter, Mrs. Medina? Don't you recognize it?
I most certainly do not.
I sure as hell do.
Mr. Grant!
No, that belongs to me. It's worth thousands of dollars, and it was stolen from my home.
Order!
Who stole it, Mrs. Medina? Or should I even bother to ask?